Oh, Lisa, it's so great to see you. I just saw this picture with this red thing hanging from the ceiling, and then I can scroll over it to see whose name it is. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you.
Is that your immersion swing up there? These are my concussion glasses. Yeah, yeah.
Are you serious? You get injured again?
Yeah, I was walking in the beautiful sunshine, feeling healthy once again after that blood cell infection.
Oh
And
my
I got
God.
hit by a bicyclist from behind. This was back in the fall, so
Oh no.
I'm doing well enough right now. Thank you for your consideration.
Yeah.
And is that an upside down sling for you? Is it something you hang from?
It's a, oh, I moved it. Yes, it has the hammock part. That's just yeah, so I hang from that and I try to stretch.
That's cool.
It's good to suspend the spine so I don't have compression with the vertebrae with the arms on the floor, so I like that.
Very nice. That's cool. Yeah. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, Renelle, thanks for coming. Nice to see your name in there. Oh, Melody, I think what Rochelle is saying is that she made a donation to the DAYA Foundation because Susie had put in there that it's a possibility when you attend class. So a couple of updates. Yes, we have a recording of the Dharma talk from Friday, and I got it moved to an unlisted YouTube video. And I can post that. I was going to email it to the people who were there at the Dharma talk, but I can also post it to this group. And our guest speaker from Friday night, his name is Theo Latta. He is hosting an event this evening on Zoom. And he emailed me about it. Let me tell you what it is. This means I have to multitask a bit. And some of you know that that's hard with my, still recovering my brain. Let's see. There we go. So tonight, as a part of his organization, the Portland Committee on Community Engaged Policing, Theo Latta is the project director for this committee. And the discussion tonight is on the discussion of the George Floyd tragedy. It's at 5 p.m. PST. I do have the information right here, so I think it's most expedient if I copy and paste this into our chat. Okay, so here's tonight's meeting. And this is just an extra little note about the speakers named in case it didn't come in the chat. And then you want I can do the Dharma talk right now too, because I texted somebody else about it and I can pick it up from my text. Just a moment. And this is Friday night's Dharma talk, which is now also in your chat. Somebody might just check those links and make sure I did an okay job on the admin part of that. Tell me if they're working, please. I'll change my glasses now because I'm going to go to teacher mode, not computer operating mode. Did those work okay? The links?
Yeah, they came through good. Fine.
Derek, did you say yes?
Yeah, they came in well.
Okay, thanks. I feel like Mr. Rogers. I'm going to change my glasses. Let me change my sweater and my shoes. But now I'm going to step away from the computer when I start teaching, so I don't need my concussion glasses in the same way. Okay, we're going to start with a period of sitting. We will have a chant to begin class, and then I have a little process I want you to be able to read, and I'll screen share for that. I will go through the stages of a yogi, as I'm just looking at it loosely, a yogi who starts a practice here in the US. Why do we begin? What happens next? What happens next? Where are we now? So I put that together for you as part of our discussion for this morning. So please take a comfortable seat. We'll begin. And when you come to your seat, I'm going to I'm going to use this word, like, don't sterilize your experience. Allow yourself to be in your experience, whatever that involves right now. So often in yoga practice, we hear, of course, the teachings say, come to one pointed attention. There's a reason that that's part of the teachings, but the teachings don't then say to the ongoing exclusion of everything else. So I'm going to ask you to come into your seat without excluding any part of who you are. And when you hear that invitation and you sense that in your body, notice what occurs. You're welcome to be here without excluding any part of who you are. Your overwhelmed part, your clear-minded part, your, let's say, physically lethargic part, your headache, your anxiety, your optimism, your courage, whatever is present. And often more than one thing is present, right? We are complex, so you can have more than one sensation, you can have more than one emotion. Notice the process that you go through inside where you say, okay, I'm welcoming this. I welcome this too. Without exclusion, I can also welcome this part of myself. I welcome this aspect of human nature that's also in me. When you're able to welcome these things, when you actually have that process inside, it also indicates that there is a place from within where you are observing and welcoming. And so that place I like to call your benevolent observer, meaning observation without judgment. You're also demonstrating inside a capacity to welcome these varied expressions, which are a part of the human condition, and which each of us has the seeds for. We are more susceptible or less susceptible in certain ways, but that warm welcome is also a central part of you. It's not one of the rising and passing things, it's more central. Just like this benevolent observer, this warm welcome is your already installed native capacity for the warmth of heart. And so now welcome your breathing on what I'm calling this vertical plane, that the inhale and exhale rise up and down the central channel of the body. But try not to narrow your experience like you're now becoming constricted. Try to keep the heart porous, your benevolent observer expansive. So one way to practice that would be that on the inhale, you can sense the breath becomes circumferentially more expansive. And that expansion you can feel at the skin of your body, but it's not limited to your physical body. It goes out to wider regions than that. And on the exhale, you can have a sense of returning to the kind of internal tone of your capacity to be upright, clear, alert, to be with that innately installed warm-heartedness, and to be with your benevolent observer. And please bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to chant this morning Sahana Vavatu, Sahanao Bhunaktu. And partly what we're saying in the word Saha is the word together. We're practicing together. So may our practice protect us. May it protect us from succumbing to the unhelpful responses to our human nature. May this practice nourish us. May we be nourished enough for the tasks at hand. May we be vigorous or strong when necessary and in a good direction. During the practice, may it help us to overcome heaviness or ignorance and to return to wisdom or luminosity. May we not succumb to impatience or animosity. We can sing together. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavaye Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavaye Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavaye Tejasvinamastu Ma Vidvishavaye Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavaye Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavaye Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, please, and open your eyes. So I want to just briefly share. Okay, thanks, Susie. I appreciate that. Let me make her a co-host, you guys. I need her help. I'm going to briefly do some screen sharing on this conversation that we're just starting. We're unpacking. I've spoken about this before, but I want to speak about it this morning to give us a framework for our practice. So this is as I'm watching the yoga industry, the yoga community. I'm not saying that you uniquely have succumbed to some of these things, but I'm hoping that as you watch these gradations, that you do see yourself in some way. So first we may begin, yoga helps me feel better. It does help our lives feel more manageable. So initial phase, we might go about our life without needing to make changes. For example, we're struggling, we're overwhelmed, we feel exhausted. We go to yoga practice. We feel so much better. The reasons that we were struggling, overwhelmed, or exhausted seem much smaller because we're back in our wise mind, we're back in our capacity So, oh gosh, I feel so much better. And we accept the things that were difficult before feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or depleted without needing to make changes to those. And then yoga helps me feel better. I would also love for other people to feel better. Therefore, I want to get them involved in yoga. So I start spreading the news that yoga is amazing and it brings a lot of health or peace to my life. And I want others also to get involved because it'd be great to have more friends or more community practicing yoga and to have those people that I love also feeling better in their life. And then yoga helps me to feel better, but also helps me to feel. And at this stage, the honeymoon phase of yoga begins to end a little bit, and we start becoming aware that yoga is telling us there are indwelling difficulties. We learn there are yamas and niyamas, there are causes of suffering, there are the 26 qualities we're supposed to develop in our hearts, and that we aren't like on top of all of those already. We may not have our yamas and niyamas worked out, but we also see that in society it's not worked out. So we become aware of the difficulties in society. Now we want to be a part of solutions. So we start having the inkling to give back, to help not just the people that we want to feel better in our lives, but also we want to help at the level of society. And then another phase, yoga helps me feel. And I start getting glimpses of the ways in which I have participated in those difficulties in society. And yoga tells me not to go into denial about my participation. Now my practice becomes something different and is no longer just about me feeling better. One of the risks here is that we become a yoga missionary to help the difficulties in society, but we don't yet know that we've participated in those difficulties. And as you guys have heard me say, I'm not recommending that you become yoga missionaries. I do want you to be ambassadors of what yoga can bring into your life and the lives of others. But as we start wanting to help society, we then need to get these glimpses of how we have participated in the dilemmas. And there, we don't want to use our yoga practice. We don't want to go back up to the beginning and just feel better. And then the next stage is yoga helps me to feel, helps me to stay porous, and to not turn away, but to see systems and symptoms not as out there, but as my own. And this is where yoga has been preparing you to navigate vulnerability on purpose, with courage, with kshama, fortitude, to navigate vulnerability with dedication, with sadhana, to navigate vulnerability without causing harm, ahimsa, with honesty, satya. And so I'm putting this framework up here today because I know for lots of us, we're in a position in society where we don't have to watch the news and we aren't directly involved we're not in Minneapolis, we're not in Atlanta, we're not in Louisville. We may have friends there, so we feel some connection, some involvement, and some tenderheartedness. But we have enough privilege in this particular group that we could turn off the news and go hiking, and we could come to yoga practice and feel better. But I'm asking you to feel better enough that you're willing to keep feeling and to not turn away from, not go into denial about, and to sense that your vulnerability might lead to an important overwhelm that helps to overwhelm systems as they have been and give room for new systems to come through. So this is why I said when we began our practice today, not to exclude anything about who you are, but to let it come in. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've been feeling tender, if you're feeling sad, if you don't know what to do with rage or grief or fear, if you're not sure how to help and you feel helpless and all of those things, my recommendation is that right now we let that be a part of our yoga because it's reflecting the symptoms that need to be addressed. I also feel those things, so please know I'm not just recommending to you as a sterilized Zoom yoga teacher here on a screen, but I feel those things myself. And I work with them in my yoga practice, not to push it away, but to have it come in. So to do this with our breath and our bodies and with each other, then the suppleness of the neuromuscular, physiological, and energetic body lets our wisdom and porousness and vulnerability then come through. So that's our aim this morning. We're going to come to table pose to get started. So I will ask Susie to move us to the other camera, and I'll take my microphone with me. Thanks, Susie. When you come to table pose, if you are somebody who does have sensitive knees, please put a blanket down for your knees. And I showed you, for some of you, how to put the blanket so that when you place your knees, your kneecaps actually won't have pressure on them. So you put the shins on the blanket instead. And then place your hands. Let me scoot back so I won't go off of the video screen. So place your hands so they're shoulder width apart. And then as you inhale, press into cat pose. And as you're gazing inward, do your best to dedicate your practice to an inner sense of porousness, willingness. Inhale into the parachute of the back body. And then let's exhale and glide forward to cow pose. Bring your heart forward. Lift your collarbones. When your neck is ready to, then lift your chin and open your eyes. And then inhale to cat. We'll do this several times. Start synchronizing with your breath. So your body listens to the orchestra conductor. Exhale to cow pose. And that orchestra conductor is the breath. Inhale to cat. And exhale to cow pose. Now step your right hand forward of your left hand. Don't go back to child's pose, but reach your hips back and lower your left elbow to the floor. You may release the weight of your head. And now with the breath, I'm going to ask you to kind of go sideways, that you expand the right hemisphere of the body on the inhale laterally. On the exhale, allow the skin of your body to soften some. And at the end of the exhale, tone your low belly. And then inhale, imagine the breath swooshing inside to widen the right hemisphere of the body. And then exhale to soften the skin of your body, your heart, but tone the deep low belly. Do that one more time. Inhale to widen the right hemisphere of the body from within. And exhale to soften the skin of your body, your heart, tone your low belly. Now press into your left hand, return to table pose. Step your left hand forward of your right. And as you plant the left fingertips and thumb, lower your right elbow, reach your hips back, but not into child's pose. More like puppy dog pose. And then inhale and widen the left hemisphere of your body. You can think of it almost like an action you would do if you were using a hula hoop. And exhale, allow the skin of your body to soften. So the skin is the largest organ of the body and is considered our largest immune organ. Inhale to broaden again from within. And when you exhale, soften the skin of your body. We often harden the skin of the body when we feel tense. We don't even realize that we've done it. So inhale one more time from the inner body, swoosh to your left. And then exhale to soften, but tone the deep low belly. Then press into your right hand, return to table pose. Take one block and sit back in Virasana, also called Zazen. So you're going to sit, you can kneel on your block like this. You can use 2 blocks if your knees don't bend this much. If you've had a knee replacement, you don't have that much knee flexion. Rest your palms face down on your thighs. Now we're going to do a little bit vigorous exhale followed by a long, smooth inhale with inhale retention and then an exhale. So the vigorous exhale this morning, we're going to do it like you're blowing a candle out through the mouth. So it goes like, and it makes a sound, and the abdomen right here at the solar plexus pulls in. So you can join me at my pace. Imagine there's one giant birthday candle in front of you and you're blowing that out. It'll go like this. Five more. Now inhale through the nose, low belly, mid-torso, upper heart, and torso, and hold the breath at the top. Now exhale slowly with a sound. And relax the belly and let the next inhale just come. Now we're going to do that through the nose, and it's going to be almost double the pace of, so we're going faster now, and it goes through the nose. Please join me. Exhale, exhale completely. Inhale from the bottom to the top and hold the breath in, please. Make a very tiny cocktail straw size opening through the lips and exhale silently. Again, when you finish the exhale, radically relax the belly and let the next in-breath come. And then take 2 blocks and come forward to table pose. So in this table pose, we're going to do the same inhale, exhale, and then we'll make it asymmetrical. Okay, so with your inhale, go to cat pose, please. With your exhale, come forward to cow pose. Bring your heart forward beyond your upper arms. Notice the extra range of motion for your neck when you have the hands high. Inhale to cat. Now exhale halfway back to child's pose, keeping your cat pose spine so the back body is really broad. And then inhale, roll forward cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat pose. When you exhale to go backwards to child's pose now, use the hum sound. Hum. Inhale, cat. Breathe through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Last time. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, table pose. Now I'm going to ask you to step your right hand forward and then your left knee forward. So your pose is asymmetrical. Okay, inhale to cat pose. Without wavering side to side, exhale halfway back to child's pose. Breathe through the nose. Notice the lower back. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Keep your arms straight, please. Exhale, roll forward to cow pose. Lift your heart, throat, chin, and eyes. Inhale to cat. It might feel awkward because it's asymmetrical. Exhale, halfway back to child's pose. Now inhale, roll forward to cat. We're going to add to the movement. Exhale, cow pose. Raise your left arm forward and up. Inhale to cat pose. Press firmly down through both arms. Exhale, halfway back to child's pose and pick up your left knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, cat pose. Make both arms strong. Exhale, cow pose. Lift your left arm. Inhale to cat. It's okay if some things feel awkward. Exhale, halfway back to child's pose. Pick the left knee up towards your left arm. And inhale to cat. Exhale, last one, cow pose. Left arm forward. And then bring this down to table pose so we can change sides. Step the left knee back, bring the right hand back, left hand forward. It's okay if things are awkward. We're working on very small muscles in the spine, the little twister muscles. They're called rotatoras and multifidi muscles. Step your right knee forward. Of course, we're also working with major muscles that might be tight or unaccustomed to you willingly putting them in asymmetrical positions. So inhale to cat, make both arms strong. Exhale to cow pose, bring your heart forward. Lift your chin, open your eyes. Inhale, cat. Okay, exhale, halfway back to child's pose, pick up your right knee. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale, cow, two straight, strong arms, lift your heart. We'll add the arm on the next round. So inhale, cat. Get accustomed to the differences left to right. Exhale, halfway back to child's pose, pick up the right knee. Okay, inhale, cat pose with two strong arms. And then exhale, cow pose. Raise your right arm up alongside your right ear. Inhale to cat. The breath is the orchestra conductor. Exhale, halfway to child's pose, pick up the right knee. Last time through, inhale, cat. Exhale, cow, raise your right arm. Inhale to cat. And exhale, walk your right knee back, take your block back and sit in zazen. You can sit in Zazen on a medium block or a flat block. You can also sit in Vajrasana, just sit back on your heels. Rest your palms face down in your lap. And then welcome whatever is arising without exclusion. So let your attention become wider, more expansive, more porous, leaving nothing out, while also remembering the already installed warmness of heart and the inner witness that is your benevolent observer, meaning observing without judgment. Let the world at large exist in your awareness right now. And then to signal a transition, please bring your hands together at your heart. Bow your head to your heart, and we're going to come up to standing. So I'm going to recommend you put a block on each side of your mat, and I'm going to take the mat that I'm using that's wide. I know I have a crisscross mat, and you might not have that. I'm going to go in this plane on my mat. So you can face whatever way you're able to comfortably still hear me or see me, and I'm going to be going this way, and I'm going to be going this way. So this sequence will allow you to be uncomfortable in some ways. I say that with respect. Okay, join your hands together in Anjali Mudra, please. Okay, energize your footprints, including your heels. Awaken your leg muscles. So there's a sense that you do draw in so that you inhabit your physical body. You are here. We don't want the skin to feel hardened. We want this largest immune organ to still be porous, like life does exist, and we are a part of it. And so with your Ujjayi inhale, now sweep the hands down, wide and up. And then exhale, Anjali Mudra, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale to deeply bow towards your legs. Inhale, glide forward. Place your hands, step backwards, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, which is like using your cow pose. And then inhale, cobra or upward dog pose. Okay, exhale, knees, chest, and chin, which is also the strength of prostration. Inhale, press up to plank. And then exhale, reach back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, raise your right leg. Stack your hips over your left thigh. And then inhale, level your hips slowly, keeping your right heel lifted. And exhale, swing your right foot forward between your hands. Press down through your right heel. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, descend, touch the floor at the end of the exhalation. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, raise your left leg. When you exhale, stack your hips over your right thigh, so that you really see the inner edge of your right leg is very stable. Then inhale, level your hips. And exhale, float your left foot forward between your hands. And then inhale, follow your breath cycle up to your crescent lunge. And exhale to descend. Touch the floor lightly. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale for a deep bow towards your legs. Again, inhale to rise, upward hands pose. Exhale to the heart. Continuing, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, come up halfway. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, Palakasana means plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Gaze back between your toes. Inhale, right leg Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, stacking. Inhale, level your hips off. And exhale, step through. Inhale to rise, crescent, Chandrasana. Exhale to descend. Plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, gaze back between your toes. Inhale, raise your left leg, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, stack your hips over your right thigh. Inhale, level your hips. And exhale, left foot forward. Press down through your left heel. Inhale, Chandrasana. Exhale to descend. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale to bow towards your legs. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Continuing, inhale, upward hands pose. Now exhale, energize the legs, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward through your heart. This time, step your right foot back, touch your right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale. And exhale to descend. Inhale, straighten both legs. And exhale to deeply bow over your left leg. Inhale, bend your left knee, return to your basic lunge. Now exhale, push down to rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up and turn. Exhale to the right, warrior two. Right hand skyward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to rise. Exhale, windmill the arms down until you touch the floor on either side of your right foot. Inhale backwards, downward dog pose. Now this time, exhale forward to plank pose. Inhale, knees, chest, and chin. Exhale, Bhujangasana, low cobra pose. Sweep the hands back. Inhale, Salambhasana. Exhale, Bhujangasana, low cobra pose. Inhale, Salambhasana. Exhale, low cobra pose. Bhujangasana. Inhale, knees, chest, and chin. Exhale, plank. And inhale, downward facing dog pose. Okay, with an inhale, raise your right leg, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stack your hips over your left thigh. Inhale, level off. Exhale, right foot forward. Reach for your yoga block, put it on the tall setting, and inhale to Trikonasana. I'm asking for the tall setting because I want us to have a really good chance of a C shape here in the spine. So inhale to your C shape. Exhale to open. Inhale, C shape. Exhale to open. Strengthen your right arm as you open. Good. Inhale, C shape. Exhale to open. Once more, inhale, C shape. Now this time, exhale to open. Press into your right arm for strength. Put the block aside. Inhale, rise up to center. Exhale, turn to your left, crescent lunge. Inhale, lift and open, sweep the arms wide. And exhale to descend. Inhale, step forward. And exhale for a deep bow towards your legs. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to the heart. Notice how it was that you didn't know where you were going. You had no notice what is coming next. Also, the sequence was asymmetrical, so listen into your body, what is happening there. Now inhale, sweep the hands down, wide and up, and raise your left knee. On the exhale, come forward, airplane pose arms, bend your right knee, and then bend it more deeply, touch the left toes down. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, airplane pose. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane pose. Again, inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane pose. Place the block under your left hand. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, untwist. Inhale, twist and open. Exhale, untwist. Keep the legs steady, please. Inhale, twist and open. I know that you don't have a sense of where we're going. I'm doing that on purpose. Exhale, release. Place your hands on the floor, step backwards, downward facing dog. Exhale inside your dog pose. Exhale completely. Inhale, plank pose now. Touch the left knee down to the floor. Turn your right heel to the floor and inhale to open. It's like a variation on the side plank pose. Exhale to make a C shape, a big curve of the body. This time, inhale to open. like a back bend. And exhale towards the C shape of the body. Once more, inhale to open like a back bend. Yeah, beautiful. Good. And exhale, find the C shape. Exhale, completely strengthen your left arm. Place your right hand. Roll up plank pose. Left knee to your left elbow. Step back, downward facing dog pose. Now, keeping your left leg planted, inhale, raise your right leg high. Stack again over your left thigh. And then exhale, level your hips, step your right foot forward, touch the left knee down, and come to Anjaneyasana. And exhale, release Anjaneyasana. This time I'm going to have you touch the floor straight in both legs. Instead of rising up to change sides, please walk in a half circle. Bring the block with you for your right hand. Bend your left knee. Look forward so you're not going to hit your head on anything. And then step into Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. This means you're balancing on your left leg. The block goes under your right hand or wrist. And as you twist to your left, you can look to your left. Notice the strength that's required. And as you acknowledge your efforts, then exhale to unwind. Bring your left hand to the floor, walk the right hand and block back, and step down with your right toes. Crescent lunge, let's inhale. Exhale, airplane pose. Keep the back legs strong. Inhale to rise, optimism, courage, fortitude. Exhale, bow forward, humility, surrender, willingness. Inhale to rise, optimism, courage, fortitude. Exhale, forward, humility, surrender, willingness. One more. Exhale to descend. Let's touch the floor completely and step backwards to downward facing dog pose. Inhale forward to plank. This time bring the 2 feet together like a mermaid and roll to your right outer heel. Raise your left arm up. This is a variation on side plank pose also. Sweep your left arm past your ear. Breathe in. And then exhale, left hand to the floor, plank pose. And now exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Point your toes. And inhale, roll up Bhujangasana, or for yourself, upward facing dog if you prefer. And then plank pose becomes downward dog pose. Now with your next exhale, step your right foot forward to the middle of your mat, like this. Then step the left foot forward. Make your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Bend both knees. And hold the opposite elbow with the opposite hand. And let the body be strong where necessary, like your toes and heels are required right now, but also you can be soft where able to be, like your eyebrows, the hinge of your jaw, the eyes themselves, the skin between the fingers. We don't know where we're going. And that's not just a metaphor. Please shift your hands to your knees, push down to rise up, and then step your feet into mountain pose. When you come to mountain pose, release the sequence and don't think, oh, wait a minute, we didn't do triangle pose on both sides. Your body knows how to bring things back to homeostasis. And every part of the body is talking to every other part of the body. So imagine inside right now this harmonious community of all these inner responsibilities and energies, and they're working it out together. The liver talking with the left kneecap, the right middle toe remembers the left calf muscle as a part of the team. The eyes as a sense. Don't forget the shoulder blades are also here. So every system in the body is interconnected to all the other systems. Now I'd like you to take a chair, bring it onto your mat, please. If you don't prefer your chair to touch your mat, that is okay, but bring a chair into your practice. And we're going to do a supported back bend. There's a couple variations of this back bend that'll be offered, and I would recommend, if you have a metal chair like I do, that you are padding that chair like this. I'm going to take a block to sit on in front of my chair. You can do the same. The decision about the block is you want to be the right height. So for example, right now I'm too tall. If you see where the base of my shoulder blade is here and the seat of my chair, then I'm sitting up too high. So I put my block down 1. So now I'm sitting where my shoulder blades touch the edge of the chair, which is what we want here. And then you roll the upper back over the chair. That's the sound of the chair, not the sound of my body. And watch out for hair clips. You can start by holding your head to lean the upper back over the edge of the seat of the chair. And you can decide for yourself if what you sense is that your heart and your collarbones and your head and your neck, they all feel good about you releasing your head to the chair seat, then please do that. Otherwise, please put a second blanket or a block under your head. And then you can reach up to hold the upper back of the chair. Point your thumbs out and hug your elbows in. And then let your breath become something you can explore, but not coerce. And notice how the inhale and the exhale, how they work in relationship with each other. Soften your eyes and your tongue. Relax the inner ear canals, the hinge of your jaw. We want the throat to be open enough that you can breathe smoothly. We do not all have the same chair in our practice. We don't all have the same physical body or physical capacity. So listening in for where your experience needs to be given extra care, like extra height for your head if you need that, or extra height for your hips if you need that. Now I'm going to ask you to raise your hips up for a few moments and reach to hold the seat of the chair rather than the upper back of the chair. So reach to hold the seat of the chair behind your head. You can put the pinky fingers together and the thumbs point out to the side. And then begin to lower your hips down while keeping your shoulder blades on the chair seat. So your shoulder blades are actually on the seat of the chair. They are not on the front edge of the chair, and they're not sliding down off of your chair. That's really important because I want your upper back, heart, and head to be very stable right now. So the slinky that you're releasing is from the top of the psoas, the bottom area of the floating ribs and thoracic spine. And that slinky goes down into the pelvis and the inner groin. But you are not a slinky at the shoulder blades, the heart, the head, or the arms. Allow the breath coming in, going out. And then if your hips are supported by what you're sitting on, all good there. Otherwise, you can lift your hips gently, place your hands under your head, and then replace your hips to your little footstool, whatever you're sitting on. And when you come up, as you start gazing forward, then reach forward using your low belly muscles and come into what would be like a supported squatting position. Yeah. Whether your hips are higher than mine or not, come forward to this little squatting position. You can try to put your armpits over your knees and notice the back hemisphere of the body right now. Release the weight of your head if you like. Now, while you're sitting upright here, just check that your seat is firmly established. And I'd like you to cross your left forearm, that's right, onto your knees. And then take your right arm around to the twist. And you can hold the first leg of the chair, if that's what you can reach. You can hold the seat of the chair. If your twist takes you across the back of the chair, you can hold that. Now in this twisting, I'd like you not to go too internal, but to actually widen your view again. So you are right now twisting, but try to sense yourself in a larger swell of life. To allow in, but just know you are twisting the spine, you are breathing and concentrating. You're with other people practicing the same. But beyond you, there are people right now still rioting. There are people still frightened and outraged. People still acting on the front lines. There are still people facing poverty and illness. There are people facing vulnerabilities in their own homes. Some struggling with mental illness, with family conflict. And just let your awareness include that life is happening all around us. We are not practicing yoga to isolate ourselves from those experiences. You can walk back around to center. Cross your right forearm over your knees. Sit up straight and tall to the best of your ability, and then twist to your left. And you can hold the first leg of the chair if that's within your reach. You can choose otherwise if you want to. You can also walk across the seat of your chair. You might discover that there's an imbalance in your body, that you don't twist the same to your left as you do to your right. And so as you're twisting, again, let the pose be stable enough, right? You've given consideration to your body and your breath. And yet, I'm asking you to keep your attention really wide, like circumferentially expanding out. The dilemmas in our society are also our own. So really allow that to come into your awareness, even while you are right now practicing. You can welcome the concerns or the circumstances that arise for you, like poverty, or if racism comes into your mind, if food famine comes into your awareness, domestic violence, aging, people who experience isolation. So in so much as we practice to also include awareness of this in the body, in our body, the somatic experience of this. When you next exhale, release your left arm to come back around. And if you're sitting up comfortably on the block or blanket, whatever it is, now place your feet into Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. And walk your hands forward. So you may have experience in your own life that actually times of upheaval can also become times of transformation, a kind of required recalibration. Life is giving this to us again right now. Not just the ecology now and not just COVID-19, but also the deeply held dilemmas in our society. So even in Baddha Konasana, where the pose kind of encourages you to be more inward, I'm going to ask you to allow your somatics to include everyone and everything. You can walk your hands back towards your toes or ankles, and please rise up to sitting. And then you have 2 blocks and a chair, so I'm going to recommend that we use this for our Shavasana. So a couple weeks ago, we were experimenting with a support in Shavasana for the sacrum, and we're going to do that now. And some of you haven't seen it before, so let me explain. For those of you who have seen it and done it, for me to watch this demonstration less. These 2 blocks are going to end up going under the sacrum, on the flat setting. And the triangle that they'll make is going to be where the tailbone is. But you have to first lie down with your legs up on the chair. If you'd like to have your eye pillow for Shavasana or the other things that you use, now is the time to get those things. And then the pose goes like this. Each block goes on the flat setting, the beveled edge of the block goes under. So it's right under the edge of the sacrum. Right? And that means that the pelvis right here is going to be level. So it's not actually tipping backwards or tipping forward. We want it to be pretty level. And we're going to rest right there. So when you sense it, the block is along the edge of the sacrum right here. So this will be our first position for Shavasana. You can tuck the shoulder blades under, take the arms out to the side if you like, or place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly perhaps. You get to decide. And then close your eyes, bring your head to center. One thing I say about this Shavasana is that it's like your sacrum is levitating. And so let the sacrum rest between those two blocks. And close your eyes if you like. And bring your attention down to the sacrum and the tailbone. And beginning at the base of the sacrum, at the tailbone, just give permission very quietly and incrementally, permission for the tension to release. So right there at the tailbone and into the insertions of the muscles alongside the sacrum, the ligaments. Starting at the lowest place of the sacrum. Move up the right side and the left side. Up to the middle part of the sacrum. And to the upper part of the sacrum. Imagine the bone of the sacrum is levitating, resting there. And inside, the sacrum could be like a basin, the sacrum and the pelvis, a beautiful body of water at the second chakra. And allow this water to become really reflective and clear. So visualize for yourself the water becomes really reflective and clear. Continue to visualize the water becomes really reflective and deeply clear all the way down to the bones of the sacrum and the iliums, acting as the basin for this water. And stay with that visualization so your mind has nowhere else to be, only in the deeply reflective water. Sana Vavatu Sana Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavai Tejasvina Varitamasu Tejasvina Varitamasu Mavidvisha Vahai Mavidvisha Vahai. Now keeping your Shavasana relatively quiet and still, please move your feet and legs to Baddha Konasana, using the front edge of the chair to rest the edges of your feet on. You can keep your 2 blocks where they are. Imagine the quality of your mind like this clear body of water, reflective and still. And the heart can welcome whatever is arising. And the benevolent observer, which is in you and all of us, that witness without judgment, able to see. So you can separate the feet by a couple of inches left to right. You're going to feel pressure in a different part of the sacrum. Let the upper part of the sacrum relax. And then using your hands, you can glide your knees to come towards each knee towards its own shoulder. And notice when you bring the knees to the chest that body of water, now the energy flows upwards through the chakras. Second chakra to third, to fourth, to fifth, to sixth. And then you can touch your feet to the front edge of the chair to lift the hips and put your blocks aside. When you're ready to, please roll to your right side. Rest a few moments there so you can acclimate. And then please bring yourself up to take a comfortable seat, a meditation seat, for a few minutes. When you come up to sit, please make it a supportive seat. You won't be distracted by hip or leg pain. When you sit, try to sense the journey you've had as a yogi. You may have begun practicing yoga and it helped you to feel so much better. Your life was improved. Your well-being was more available more consistently. Perhaps at first you felt well enough you didn't go back to your life to make changes. Slowly you learned you had to implement change within you. And yoga helped you to feel better enough. You also wanted others to feel better. Perhaps you invited them to yoga. And yoga continued to help you feel better enough, but also encouraged you to feel. When the difficulties in society emerge, you also feel them. We become people who want to help alleviate suffering, not contribute to it. And then yoga encouraged us to continue feeling. We began glimpsing the ways in which we have participated in suffering. We have contributed. And yoga asks us not to go into denial. And then yoga encourages us to feel, to become even more porous, to sense the human family as our own, the human condition also as our inner condition. To see systems and symptoms not as out there, but as our very own. Meanwhile, yoga is also helping us to remember we are more than just the difficulties of the human condition. We are also its beauties, its poignancies, its capacities. So connecting with this in your native heart, your already installed human capacities for warmth, the longing for respect, for mutuality, for loving kindness, compassion, the longings already in your heart for equanimity, for justice, equity, already installed in you, the deep desire that the welfare of all beings is considered everyone's duty. And please bring your hands together at your heart. You may sing with me. It's a little chant. We are saying Om, Hari Om. May the residue, may the toxicity, may the difficulties be removed. It goes like this. Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Okay. So nice to be with you. Thank you for being here and being willing and porous and courageous. Mm-hmm.